Hello and welcome to Matador News. I'm Ken Harvey.
And I'm Sabella Scalise. ISIS continues its battle for Kobani, a Syrian city on the border of Turkey. The U.S. is launching airstrikes to try and stop the advancing extremist group. The airstrike battle has been going for more than 2 weeks. As ISIS continues its march through Syria and Iraq, they continue their propaganda war. ISIS has released an article in their magazine Dabiq, using the Quran to justify their use of sex slaves. The group's interpretation of Judgment Day describes that infidels or non-Muslim women are allowed to be forced into marriage, forced to convert, and forced in sexual assaults. Although accepted by ISIS, this belief is rejected by the Muslim world at large.
Peaceful protests continue in Hong Kong after yesterday saw hostile clashes between protesters and anti-Occupy people. Pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong lost ground as police used sledgehammers and chainsaws to tear down barricades. Major roadway Queensway Road was cleared for the first time in 2 weeks. Protesters promised to rebuild the barricades but wouldn't clash with the police. In contrast, protesters in Chilpancingo, Mexico, burned and ransacked government offices in outrage over the suspected kidnapping and murder of 43 students by corrupt local police. Anti-government rallies have been held in several Mexican cities since the students' disappearance September 26th.
Conservative Catholic bishops are now backtracking on the earlier statement that hinted at a new acceptance of homosexuality. Catholic bishops meeting at the Vatican released a temporary document saying gays have gifts and qualities to offer the church and should be accepted. But now, the more conservative bishops say that was a quote-unquote working document that doesn't reflect their views. The Catholic Church has preached that homosexuality is a sin for 2,000 years. Gay groups say change in the Catholic Church is going to take a long time.
North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, has resurfaced. Photos released by state news agency KCNA show Un walking with a cane surrounded by officials. Un has not been seen in public since he attended a concert with his wife on September 3rd. Un appeared to be limping before his disappearance. Theories including weight gain and gout have been circulated as an explanation. This marks the leader's longest absence from official events since he made his first public appearance in 2010.
New lottery restrictions may be coming to Los Angeles. Matador News reporter Nicole Sands is in the newsroom with more.
Mayor Garcetti is expected to sign an executive order today on water conservation to address the drought and reduce the use of the city's expensive imported water in Los Angeles receives 90% of its water supply from 250 miles away. Officials are looking to decrease that number by half. General Manager of the Metropolitan Water District, Jeffrey Neitlinger, says recycled water may have to be expanded into households. CSUN is taking steps to address the state's drought. The university's Institute for Sustainability finalized a 10-year plan to reduce its water consumption by 15% and increase awareness around the campus. Some CSUN students say they are conserving water at home.
Wash the dishes in a dishwasher and on a shorter program, so we won't wash it every time, manually, and we will spend more water.
Taking shorter showers, spending less water while I'm brushing my teeth. I try to not waste water while I'm watering the plants.
All honesty, I feel like I'm not doing as much as I could. I've been consciously trying to avoid getting my car washed just in order to save a little bit of water.
On-campus water projects include installing waterless urinals and making sure that the landscaping is drought tolerant with drip irrigation.
Just in time for Halloween, some scary clowns are terrorizing residents of Wasco, California. Residents have reported 20 sightings within a week, with some clowns seen wielding machetes or baseball bats. Bakersfield police arrested a 14-year-old suspect for allegedly chasing other juveniles while in costume. The suspect was not armed and told police he was participating in a hoax he saw online. Social media accounts using the name Wasco Clown claim to be linked to the pranks. Instagram photos showing the clowns at different landmarks in Wasco, Delano, and Bakersfield. Police say they are unaware of any connection between the accounts and the pranks.
Liquid nicotine levels are spiking in children. In the last 4 years, e-cigarette annual sales have increased from $82 million to $2.5 billion. Now, poison control experts say children are coming in contact with the liquid nicotine containers. Children try and open refills, parents or family members leave out. Liquid nicotine can be harmful by ingestion as well as skin exposure. The FDA has proposed issuing regulations, but no rules have been created.
An Italian nurse is in jail for killing 38 patients. Police say she thought the patients and their visiting families were annoying. She allegedly killed her victims with hefty doses of potassium chloride and slipped non-lethal sedatives to some patients so they wouldn't disturb her. She would then snap photos with some of the corpses and post them online with disturbing captions. Investigators found deaths in the hospital increased significantly when she was on duty. She's being held in an Italian jail on murder charges.
For the latest on Ebola, let's go to Kelsey Ducklow.
Thanks, Isabella. The CDC is still working to figure out how a Texas nurse contracted Ebola. Nina Pham is being described as a meticulous nurse who took recommended precautions while treating Liberian Ebola victim Thomas Eric Duncan. Health officials suspect that Pham could have become infected while removing protective gear or by coming into contact with infected fluid from Duncan. Pham has received a blood transfusion from American Ebola survivor Kent Brantley and is in stable condition. The CDC says it is possible we will see additional cases in the coming days. Mark Zuckerberg is getting involved in the fight against Ebola. The Facebook CEO and his wife are donating $25 million to help the CDC to help fight the epidemic. The donation will benefit countries in West Africa that could see up to 10,000 new cases a week in the next 2 months. The World Health Organization says the death rate of the current outbreak has risen to 70%. Officials say the epidemic is doubling in size every 3 weeks. Now to Ashley Goosen with entertainment.
Well, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner are proving to be quite the power couple at the box office. It seems Affleck's Gone Girl won't be disappearing from the top spot anytime soon. The thriller came in first place for a second week in a row, grossing $26.4 million in ticket sales. Second place was held by Universal's Dracula Untold, bringing in $23.5 million. And Jennifer Garner and Disney's Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day opened in third place with $18.4 million. Well, Big Brother is always watching over Amanda Bynes, mainly because the actress is claiming to have a microchip in her brain. The 28-year-old is claiming a microchip implanted in her brain made her tweet bad things about her father. Bynes was admitted to a mental facility in Pasadena on an involuntary emergency psychiatric hold on Friday. Now, this latest outburst of strange behavior from the actress comes only a year after her parents said their daughter was making great strides towards recovery. Let's turn to Kelsey Ducklow now for business.
Facebook and Apple will offer to cover costs for female employees who choose to freeze their eggs. This will allow women to focus on advancing their careers without sacrificing their fertility. The technology companies are the first major employers to offer the services for non-medical reasons and will cover costs up to $20,000. Critics argue the companies are encouraging women to put their careers ahead of motherhood. Facebook is already covering the benefit, and Apple plans to begin coverage in January. Dropbox is saying there's no need to worry, your stuff is safe. The cloud storage service is denying it's been hacked after reports that 7 million username and password combinations were stolen. Hackers posted hundreds of emails, and what they are saying are Dropbox passwords to pastebin.com yesterday. Dropbox says the information was stolen from unrelated services, but is asking users to take precautions anyway. Stocks are drifting down again after a brief bounce back this morning, after the worst 3-day drop since 2011. The rise came after positive comments about the health of the U.S. economy from CEOs of Wells Fargo and J.P. Morgan Chase. At last check, the Dow Jones stands at 16,287, down 33 points. Now to Ashley Goosen with sports.
It seems the Los Angeles Kings are finally picking up where they left off last season. After suffering 2 straight losses, the Kings have picked up their first win of the season on Sunday, defeating the Winnipeg Jets with a score of 4-1. Kings linemen Tanner Pearson, Tyler Toffoli, and Jeff Carter carried the team on Sunday, each contributing a goal and an assist. With the Stanley Cup put away and the championship banner hanging from the Staples Center ceiling, it seems the Kings are finally back in the game. The San Francisco 49ers started off slow but came back swinging this week on Monday Night Football, defeating the St. Louis Rams 37-1. The Niners came back from an early 14-point deficit against Austin Davis and the Rams. The 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick proved that he can not only survive but thrive under pressure. Kaepernick threw for an impressive 343 yards, tossing 3 touchdown passes in nearly a 15-minute span. The Magic Monday 49ers play their next game on Sunday against Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. Well, CSUN's Pride Center will be hosting an LGBTQ awareness training class next Wednesday, and Matador News reporter Randi Friess is live in the sundial with a representative for the Pride Center. Randi.
Thank you, and thank you, Sarina, for joining us here today. And I know you're the coordinator for the Pride Center and LGBTQ initiatives. So just tell us about the awareness training that's coming up this week.
Okay, well, so the Pride Center, once a month, we offer LGBTQ awareness trainings, and the purpose behind that is really to help educate the campus on the LGBTQ community, as well as, how to be an ally. So things that go on during that training, we have lots of interactive activities, talk about terminology, and just what makes a good ally.
And why do you think this is important for our campus community to learn about?
Well, I think it's important for any campus community to learn about, just because campuses are so diverse, but especially here at CSUN, being that we have a large population, 40,000 students now, and we have a Pride Center, we have a Queer Studies minor, and so really wanting to continue to make CSUN an inclusive place by educating students.
Great. And when and where will this be taking place?
So the next LGBTQ awareness training is tomorrow, so Wednesday, at 10 a.m. So it's a 2-hour training, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the Thousand Oaks room in the University Student Union.
Great. So thank you for joining us again, and we hope everyone can go out at 10 a.m. to the USU and join in the awareness training. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Ken Harvey.
And I'm Sabella Scalise. Have a great day, Matadors.